Skeletal system and the muscular system. Role and function of the skeletal system. The skeletal system is made up of individual or joint bones. They are supported and supplemented by a structure of ligaments, tendons, muscles, cartilages, and other organs. The skeletal system's main roles are to provide support for the entire body, enables movement of the body, and protects vital organs. The major components of the skeletal system are bones and joints. The skeletal system has 6 main functions that include support, attachment, movement, protection, blood cell production, and the storage. With this, the 2 major components of the skeletal system are bones and the joints. Long bones are comprised mostly of compact bone that is mainly spongy and contains marrow in the hollow center. Most bones of the limbs are long bones such as the humerus, radius, femur, fibula, and tibula. Short bones are as wide as they are long, creating a cube-like shape. They only have a thin layer of compact bone surrounding a spongy interior such as the carpals and the patella. Flat bones enable muscular attachment and protection of vital organs such as the ribs, scapula, and sternum. Irregular bones consist of thin layers of compact bone surrounding a spongy interior. Their shapes are irregular such as a vertebrae and sacrum. Sesamoid bones are usually small bones that are embedded in tendons. Some examples of the sesamoid bones are patella, radius, and the ulna. Types of joints. Bones are connected by fibrous tissues and don't allow movement. Fibrous tissues are found between the bones of the skull, providing protection for the brain. Cartilaginous bones are connected by cartilages that allow a little bit of movement, such as the vertebral column. The vertebral column consists of many bones positioned one on top of each other and is an S-shaped. The movement is possible because the disc can compress slightly, allowing considerable flexibility of the spine. Synovial joints are the most common types of joints that allow for maximum movement, such as ball and socket and pivot joints. Joints in the skeletal system that allows efficient movement of the body. A ball and socket joint is a natural or manufactured joint, such as the hip joint, in which a partially spherical end lies in a socket, allowing multi-directional movement and rotation. Some of the movements that this joints consist of flexion, extension, adduction, abduction, internal and external rotation. A hinge joint is a common class of a synovial joint that includes the ankle, elbow, and the knee joint. The movements this bone can do is flexion and extension. A condyloid joint is an ovoid articular surface or condyle that is received into an elliptical cavity. This permits movement in 2 planes, allowing flexion, extension, adduction, abduction, and circumduction. Some examples are the wrist and metacarpals. A pivot joint allows only rotary movement around a single axis. Some examples are the neck and between C1 and C2. A sliding joint allows the bones to glide past one another in any direction along the plane of the joint. Sliding joints allow movement in the wrists when waving and in the ankles when walking. The types of muscles in the muscular system. Skeletal muscle is a form of striated muscle tissue which is under the voluntary control of a somatic nervous system. Most skeletal muscles are attached to bones by bundles of collagen fibers known as tendons. Cardiac muscle is an involuntary striated muscle that is found in the walls of the heart. Smooth muscle is the muscle tissue in which the contractile fibrils are not highly ordered, occurring in the gut and other internal organs and not under voluntary control. Functions of the muscle tissue. Contractibility is to shorten or become reduced in size with an increase in tension. Extensibility is the ability of a muscle to be stretched. For example, the elbow flexing motion. The elbow extensor muscle must extend to allow flexion to occur. Excitability is the ability to respond to a stimulus, such as a weight. Elasticity is the ability to recoil or bounce back to the muscle's original length after being stretched. The muscular system's contribution to efficient movement. Flexion is bending or decreasing the angle at a joint such as the knee, hip, shoulder, elbow, and wrists. Extension is straightening or increasing the angle at a joint such as the shoulder, elbow, and wrist. Adduction is moving a body part towards the center or midline, such as the arm and leg. Abduction is the opposite. Circumduction is moving a joint in a circular motion. It can take place at joints that flex, extend, adduct, and abduct, such as the shoulders when swimming butterfly. Rotation is turning or twisting a bone along its axis, such as the shoulder. Dorsiflexion and plantar flexion only takes place at one joint. Dorsiflexion involves moving the toes towards the skin bone, such as the ankle and the foot, such as landing from a jump. Whereas plantar flexion involves moving the toes away from the ankle and the foot, for example, walking on your tippy toes.